Well, despite the push to engage more young women in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM, some women only make up 1/3 of all STEM graduates, about a quarter of STEM jobs.
To talk about the gender gap, we're joined now by STEM education expert Jennifer Flanagan. Thanks so much for being here.
My pleasure. Happy International Women's Day week.
Yes, yes.
Season. It's
yeah.
like birthday season. Yeah.
Timely to have this conversation.
Yes.
Why is there a gap still in women choosing to study and work in STEM?
Well, first, I think it's really important that we're aware that this is a societal issue. This is not an issue about girls. So it's not because girls and women are interested in science and technology, and it's definitely not because they aren't as intelligent or aren't as achieving as much. It's really long-standing societal bias that has discouraged girls. And those societal messages, which we all see, some of them are really subtle, some of them are not so subtle. So it goes from the way that toys are promoted. Science and technology toys are promoted mostly to boys, right? So those messages start really early. And then when you look at the people who are out representing science and technology, the highest levels of those fields are still occupied by men. So you talked about 1 in 4 STEM jobs are held by women. When you get up to those higher levels, it's
less than that.
Way less than that.
It's getting close to zero.
Way less than that.
Yeah.
Right.
So what are some of the issues that we're seeing when it comes to this gender gap?
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things that's also important is for us to understand why this matters, right? So it's not just gender parity for gender parity's sake. We all are impacted every day by science and technology, right? And we want to make sure that people developing those advancements are actually reflective of all of us who are using them. And this is really relevant when you talk about technology. So we know that tech is impacting every aspect of our lives. Take artificial intelligence, for example. It's 7:45 in the morning, and we've probably interacted with artificial intelligence at least 5 to 10 times, right? Whether it's facial recognition or how emails are sorted or social. And right now, 80 to 90% of that technology is designed by men. Right? So when you think about that and how we're interacting with that on an ongoing basis, it absolutely matters. And that kind of gets people's attention, right? It's thinking, oh my goodness, I don't want my daughter growing up in a world that isn't based on her interest and experience, right? So it really does make a big difference. And we aren't going to fully be able to use technology to its maximum potential if we don't have those diverse voices at the table.
We've had a lot of conversations on the show about jobs of the future, about making sure there's no racial bias when you're talking about AI, but gender bias also important as well as hiring practices and people hire who they know. So if you're only looking in one gender pool, then your hires are less likely to have parity.
Absolutely.
What role do parents play, especially in the technology piece?
So parents are still the most influential people in their kids' lives and their daughters' lives. They dictate what they're going to study and what they're eventually going to pursue as a career. We know that girls that go into science and technology most likely have a parent in that field, or their parents talk to them actively about science and technology careers. And what we're seeing across the country in actual programs we deliver across the country is that parents are increasingly concerned about online safety, which we are all, obsession about screen time and how much time your kids are spending online. What's happening is parents of daughters are tending to put more restrictions on the girls than they are on the boys. So we're pulling them off the technology, and that is resulting in them not being as exposed, not having enough opportunity to actually participate. And we know research supports that. Actually did a big Canada-wide study on digital skills and found that boys are twice as likely to participate in coding-based programs than girls. So this is actually a very real concern, but has implications to keep that gap actually
Jennifer,
going.
I'd love to have you back to talk about specific things that we can do, because we're all out of time for today.
Yes.
So I'd like to have you back if we can to give us some tips to really get our girls in science, because let me tell you, it's awesome.
Yes. And you can find those tips on Actua's website as well.
Okay, cool. Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.